Imagine a tiny nation on the edge of the world, fighting back against an enormous, aggressive power determined to erode its sovereignty. What if I told you that this country is building a secret network of hundreds of bunkers, hidden, fortified traps, designed to hold off the mightiest military in the world? The stakes are shocking, and the game is more complex than anyone anticipated. In the shadows of southeast Estonia, the sound of machinery fills the air. Heavy drills echo through dense woodlands, metal clinks softly as concrete is poured, each structure a silent guardian. It's not just a construction project, it's a bold stand against invasion. Estonia is secretly assembling a chain of 600 bunkers, each a fortress capable of withstanding direct artillery hits. The goal? To create an impenetrable Baltic defense line that could delay or even halt a massive Russian invasion. This might sound like a scene from a war film, but it's real. These bunkers measure roughly 35 square meters, dense with reinforced concrete designed to survive the worst Russian artillery can throw at them. Over the coming years, they will be placed strategically across northeast and southeast Estonia, potential gateways for invading forces. The plan is meticulous, deliberate, a chess game where each piece is vital. But why such secrecy? Why not reveal every secret? Because the element of surprise is everything. If Russia doesn't know where these fortifications are, their initial strike hopes are diminished. Unlike traditional defense systems, these bunkers will be a sprawling trap, like a sprawling maze that tangles and retards Russian troops from the very moment they set foot on Estonian soil. Yet challenges loom. The delays have been frustrating. Initial plans to begin construction a year ago faced hurdles. Contractors underestimated the cost, and the secret locations had to be kept under wraps for security. This careful concealment ensures that only those building the bunkers know where they are, an invisible web ready to catch the enemy off guard. But the threat extends beyond simple artillery shells. Russia's advances include deadly new drones and precision-guided bombs. Plans to build 40 kilometers of anti-tank trenches complement the bunkers, forming a labyrinth of obstacles. Russian drones could pose a serious threat, especially with plans to produce tens of thousands of these flying death machines. Their potential impact is terrifying. Imagine the sound of distant drone engines whirling overhead, the smell of freshly poured concrete mingling with the crisp winter air. Russian glide bombs, massive, destructive, and fast, could strike these fortifications at any moment. But here's the twist: the secret locations make it almost impossible for the enemy to strike accurately. As long as Estonia keeps its secrets, these hidden traps remain a mystery, an effective defense that Putin's spies can't find. Why is Estonia doing this? Because they see the storm coming. Since signing a vital alliance agreement in January 2024, Estonia, along with Latvia and Lithuania, is forging a barrier, an advanced defense line stretching across their territories. This collective effort is NATO's front line against a potential Russian invasion. With billions invested, and armed with innovative fortifications, they're preparing for the unimaginable. In the end, what's truly shocking? It's how a tiny Baltic nation is turning what seems like an underdog story into a high-stakes chess match, an intricate web of deception, steel, and strategy. This unseen network could hold back a superpower, a silent, deadly trap designed to buy crucial time, ensuring that if Russia strikes, it will face chaos, confusion, and staggering resistance. And in the silence of the woods, these bunkers wait, hidden, unbreakable, ready to turn the tide of history. Previous brief summary: Estonia is constructing a vast network of secret bunkers to trap and delay Russian forces, buying crucial time for NATO. These defenses aim to deny mobility, trap invading troops, and prepare for a potential wider conflict. But the threats keep evolving. Russia's drone and glide bomb arsenal pose new dangers that may outstrip even these formidable structures. The fight to defend Estonia is about more than just concrete and steel, it's about outsmarting Russia's next move. Imagine a battlefield cloaked in shadows and steel, silent but deadly. These massive bunkers, roughly 377 square feet each, are being strategically hidden across the dense forests of southeast Estonia. They're designed to be the ultimate trap, players on a chessboard where every move can mean the difference between victory and devastation. But here's the twist: these fortresses, seemingly unbreakable, might not withstand everything. Russian drones, especially the now amped-up Shahed-type models, are planning to flood the skies. These deadly aircraft killers rely on precise angles to strike, but can they penetrate the layered defenses? The answer remains uncertain. The command centers acknowledge that a well-placed drone strike could breach their concrete shields, especially from unpredictable angles. Yet, secrecy cloaks the exact locations of all bunkers. That's Estonia's ace: hide the positions and make Russian troops play a guessing game as deadly as Russian roulette. Inside the bunkers, soldiers can feel the cold breeze, hear the distant hum of engines, and smell the scent of damp concrete, moments that make every second feel tense, alive, and dangerous. Will these defenses buy enough time? Or will a Russian drone slip through the cracks, turning their formidable trap into rubble? The stakes are higher than ever. Russia's next wave of threats includes plans for 40,000 advanced Garand-2 drones, marked for mass production by 2025. These are not just toys, they're guided death machines, capable of wiping out entire clusters of bunkers if their defenses fail. Meanwhile, the infamous glide bombs, repurposed from dumb bombs into semi-precise killers, are also on Russia's menu. With 44,000 already launched at Ukraine and plans to build 120,000 more, these weapons could potentially devastate the concrete fortifications. And yet, the real immunity? Secrecy. While the bunkers aren't invincible, the mystery surrounding their exact locations makes them nearly impossible for Russia to target precisely. It's a game of hide and seek. Russia has the technology, but not the knowledge, of where Estonia's ultimate trap is placed. The question remains, will these hidden fortresses give Estonia enough of a chance to rally NATO forces, or will Russia's relentless drone and missile strategy outpace their defenses? The clock is ticking as both sides sharpen their arsenals, preparing for a conflict that could change the balance of power in Europe forever. The plan is risky, but if it works, Estonia might just pull off the ultimate deception. A web of steel, secrets, and strategy designed to turn the tide of war against an opponent with an arsenal growing more deadly every day. But the question lingers, can they stand firm against the new tectonic shifts in warfare, or will Russia's advancing technology finally breach their defenses? Recent intelligence reveals Russia's alarming plans. By the end of 2025, they aim to produce 120,000 glide bombs, massive weapons capable of destroying entire cities. Yet, as reports indicate, only about 44,000 of these bombs have been deployed at Ukraine so far. Could this mean Russia is struggling to meet its target, or is something more ominous at play? Is it stockpiling for an even greater escalation? Imagine the thunder of the explosion, the smell of burning metal, and the shockwave rippling through the air. As these bombs fly through the sky, they pose a deadly threat that could reach far beyond Ukraine. But where do these weapons go next? Are Russia's plans to unleash this destructive force on Estonia, or other Baltic nations? And if so, how prepared are their defenses? Estonia's new bunkers are said to be resistant, yet not invincible. Official sources claim these concrete fortresses can withstand artillery shells. However, they admit that a direct hit from a glide bomb, or a drone, could potentially cripple them. Ukraine's experience with Russian drones shows how war has evolved. Now, long-range pilotless aircraft carrying dangerous payloads pose a different threat. Russia's formidable delivery systems, like the mighty Garand-2 drones and devastating glide bombs, are designed to overwhelm even the strongest defenses. With plans to build 40,000 drones and stockpile hundreds of thousands of glide bombs, Russia is building a future war machine that Estonia might never fully block. The secrecy surrounding these bunkers adds a deadly twist. Their locations remain classified, making it nearly impossible for Russian forces to target them accurately. Could luck, or pure chance, save these structures from destruction? Or does this clandestine strategy give Estonia a crucial edge? The key here is obscurity. Putin knows these bunkers exist, but he can't find them. That unknown factor keeps Estonia several steps ahead in a deadly game of hide and seek. This strategy is no accident. Estonia is deliberately creating a massive obstacle, a trap for invading forces. Think of it as a chain of hidden fortresses, designed to catch the enemy off guard. Every bunker, each trench, forms part of a complex defensive web. Putin's forces will be met with confusion, chaos, and delay. The longer they are caught in this network, the more time NATO gains to mobilize. It's a battle of secrecy versus brute force, where the shadows serve as weapons. But why is Estonia investing so heavily in this hidden fortress network? The answer lies in collective defense, a shared goal among Baltic states to resist Russian expansion. Last January, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania signed a vital agreement to fortify their eastern borders with a continuous line of defenses. This Baltic Defense Pact mandates cooperation, resource sharing, and strategic planning. Their collective aim: prevent Russia from breaking through those borders and sprawling their influence further west. Estonia's commitment is clear: construction is already underway. Meanwhile, Latvia started reinforcing its eastern front in March 2024, with a budget of over €300 million. Lithuania is also preparing multi-layered defenses, including trenches and fortified barriers, trying to create a resilient shield. But the threat remains: Russia's next move could be a full-scale invasion, armed with glide bombs, stealth drones, and devastating artillery. In the end, the question remains: can these underground fortresses hold against the relentless firepower Russia is amassing? The secret bunkers, hidden in dense forests, are Estonia's gambit. They're designed to be unpredictable, nearly impossible to target accurately. Putin may have a strategic advantage: if he could pinpoint the bunkers, he would crush them. But as long as their locations stay hidden, Estonia's hope is that these structures will serve as a massive, unseen trap, delaying, damaging, and ultimately defeating any invader. All of this underscores one stark reality: in a war of shadows and fire, secrecy can be the deadliest weapon. Estonia is betting that as long as Putin doesn't know exactly where the bunkers lie, they will remain one step ahead. The upcoming months will reveal whether this underground maze can withstand the storm looming on Europe's horizon. Estonia faces an urgent challenge. Its borders are tiny, less than 200 kilometers wide at some points. That makes it a tempting target for Russia's powerful mechanized forces. If Estonia's defenses aren't strong enough, invading tanks, armored vehicles, and artillery could flood in and seize territory before NATO could respond. But here's the twist: there's a strategic secret behind Estonia's defenses that could turn the tide. In the depths of this crisis, an unexpected tactic emerges. Some critical points along the Baltic defense line are designed to be abandoned rapidly if needed. Imagine bridges and trenches that can be destroyed instantly, preserving the integrity of a larger force. This quick deactivation means that even if enemy soldiers storm certain zones, they won't gain control of vital obstacles. It's a calculated move, making the enemy believe they've achieved a breakthrough, only to find themselves caught in a deadly trap. But the real shock lies in the silent battlefield tactics. Russia is supposed to know about these defenses. Yet, the exact locations remain a mystery, even if they're visible from afar. Satellite images show the trenches and barriers, much like those seen in Ukraine, deliberately placed to be apparent. This visibility is no accident. It's a message, a challenge to Putin himself. Russia can see the fortifications, but the specific spots remain hidden. It's a game of strategic deception. This visual openness isn't about hiding. It's about shaping the enemy's mind. Knowing where defenses are supposed to be forces Russia to plan around them, slowing their advance. Meanwhile, the secret bunkers in Estonia are a different story. They're meant to be seen, so Russia knows they're there. But the real positions are concealed, making any direct attack a gamble. And here's the twist: if Russia chooses to attack, it walks straight into a trap. Imagine this scenario: Russian forces are lured into a battlefield they can't see clearly. Once they step into the trap, they face modern bunkers designed to withstand artillery rounds. These structures, about 35 square meters each, form a vast network, many being built over the coming years. They're engineered for maximum resilience, but not invincible to modern drone strikes or glide bombs. Yet, the bunker's secret locations keep Russia guessing, each one a potential death trap, or at least a major delay. The price tag for this massive effort is staggering. When the project was first conceived, procuring materials and labor was straightforward, until costs spiraled. Contractors underestimated the expense, and the secrecy added complications. The construction started about a year late, but the plan remains unstoppable: 600 bunkers by 2027, scattered across the most vulnerable regions. These structures will connect with anti-tank trenches stretching nearly 25 miles, creating an almost unbreakable network of defenses. What makes this truly shocking is not just the scale but the psychology behind it. Estonia's leaders understand that war is a game of illusions and strategic silence. They want Russia to see the defenses but never to find their core. The sound of construction echoes through the forests, hammering, digging, the faint smell of concrete. Meanwhile, their enemy is stumbling into a trap, blindly walking into a web woven from steel, secrecy, and strategic deception. But the looming question remains, will these defenses hold against advanced Russian weaponry? Drone swarms, glide bombs, and new long-range missile systems are in development, destined to challenge even these formidable structures. Russia plans to amass thousands of glide bombs alone, threatening to turn the battlefield into a deadly maze. Despite these threats, Estonia's approach is both brilliant and daring. By making the bunkers' exact locations a secret, they nullify Russia's ability to strike accurately. Each bunker is a ticking time bomb for invading forces, designed to absorb hits and delay progress. Still, the risk remains, no defense is perfect. A lucky strike or a surprise drone attack could devastate these structures. This strategy turns Estonia into a giant, invisible trap. Russia knows it's there, but it doesn't know where. While the world watches these developments unfold, the real question is this: can a small country, armed with cunning and secrecy, hold back one of the most powerful military machines in history? Or will the Kremlin's ambitions finally break through these steel walls? The answer could reshape the future of Europe itself. Estonia's secret bunker network is shaping up to become a game-changer in the impending conflict. While the locations remain hidden, the implications are chilling. Russian forces will walk into a carefully crafted trap. The Baltic defense line isn't just a barrier, it's a daring challenge to Vladimir Putin himself. Imagine the surprise of Russian troop columns advancing through the dense forests of Estonia, only to stumble into a maze of reinforced concrete, hidden in plain sight. Their every move recorded, their progress slowed, and then, ambushed. This isn't a weapons show, it's strategic warfare at its most cunning. The plan? Construct an astonishing 600 bunkers across Estonia by the end of 2027. Each measuring roughly 377 square feet, like pressing a massive concrete wall into the landscape. The first 5 are already underway, nestled in the woods, silent guardians of NATO's eastern flank. These structures are designed to withstand direct hits from Russian artillery, and the location selection is kept secret. Why? To catch the enemy off guard, a silent, concrete snare that Russia cannot see coming until it's too late. Secrecy isn't just a tactic, it's a necessity. The delay in construction, due to procurement challenges, only heightens the mystery. Bids exceeded budgets, and operational security forced Estonia to reveal bunker locations gradually. Each installation is a piece of an intricate puzzle meant mostly for Russian eyes not to see. If Russia's military planners stumble blindly into this trap, the entire invasion could be compromised from the start. Inside Estonia, uncertainty reigns. When will these bunkers be needed? The government cautions that Russia's military revival is rapid and unpredictable. The clock is ticking loudly. Within months, the first 5 bunkers will be ready, forming a hardline defense that NATO hopes will deter full-scale invasion. The purpose is clear: create a formidable obstacle, a kind of concrete glue trap. NATO troops on Estonian soil and its allies in Latvia and Lithuania will serve as both the first line of defense and the early warning system. A Russian invasion attempting to breach this network would face chaos, bogged down among fortified obstacles, giving NATO vital time to mobilize reinforcements and strike preemptively, possibly even destroying Russian equipment with targeted airstrikes before they penetrate deeper. But here's the unsettling truth. Russia's arsenal is evolving faster than anyone predicted. The bunker's concrete might withstand most artillery, but what about drones and glide bombs? Russia's plans include building up to 40,000 Garand drones, deadly, long-range, and highly destructive. These UAVs could target the bunkers with pinpoint accuracy if they find an opening. Russia is also preparing its formidable glide bombs, massive explosives capable of obliterating entire units. Ukraine reports that Russia has already launched over 44,000 of these bombs this year alone, with plans to produce as many as 120,000 by 2025. If these weapons find their mark, even the strongest fortifications could be at risk. Yet, The secrecy surrounding the bunkers offers a slim chance for survival, unless luck or advanced intelligence keeps their positions hidden from Russian eyes. Despite these threats, Estonia's strategy tonight whispers of resilience. The bunkers act as a silent warning to Putin, an unbreakable, unseen maze designed to neutralize his most advanced weaponry before it reaches the heart of NATO defenses. This giant trap, invisible to the naked eye, is Estonia's answer to the looming nightmare of invasion. Why is Estonia taking such a risk? Because they understand what's at stake. The Baltic Defense Line was born from a bold agreement among Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania in January 2024. It's a strategic fortress stretching across all three countries, designed to expose Russian ambitions early on. Latvia has begun its own reinforcement efforts, pouring hundreds of millions into border defenses. Every step taken echoes the same message: the alliance is prepared to withstand the storm. Within the shadows of these military moves lies a stark reality. Many leaders across Europe believe war with Russia is no longer a distant fear, it's imminent. Powerful figures warn that Putin's long-term plans could ignite a new global conflict, and NATO is no longer just watching from the sidelines. Rumors swirl about secret preparations, covert buildups, and a tense countdown toward what some suspect will be a confrontation within the next 5 years. Yet, Russia dismisses these warnings as reckless paranoia. Their spokespersons deny any aggressive intent, claiming the talk of war is irresponsible. But behind closed doors, Russian military development accelerates. The threat of drones, glide bombs, and advanced missile systems looms larger every day. As the world debates, Estonia's bunker maze silently stands ready, a concrete nightmare for any invading army. In this quiet but deadly game of hide-and-seek, the question remains, will Putin try to walk into this trap? And if he does, will he realize too late that he's blindfolded himself in a fortress of steel and secrecy? The truth is, as the world watches, Estonia and its allies are betting on the element of surprise. Because in war, sometimes the unseen is the most powerful weapon of all. Many within NATO believe that Russia's ultimate aim is to wipe out Ukraine as an independent nation. They see this as just the beginning of a larger campaign that could threaten all of Europe, especially the Baltic states sitting on NATO's eastern edge. Estonia, one of these Baltic nations, understands the danger. They see the threat as real and immediate enough to unite with allies in urgent action. Recently, Estonia has taken a startling step to counter potential Russian aggression. Beginning December 17, reports emerged that the Estonian Defense Center was starting work on 5 deep underground bunkers in the southeastern forests. These are no ordinary shelters. They are the first in a sprawling network designed to slow down and trap invading Russian forces. By 2027, Estonia plans to build an astonishing 600 of these fortified structures across its northeast and southeast regions, strategically placed at potential entry points for an invasion. Imagine the forest echoes with the sounds of construction, hammering, drilling, and the scent of fresh concrete filling the air. Each bunker is about 35 square meters, roughly the size of a small apartment, yet built with the strength to withstand direct hits from 152mm artillery shells. It's a massive, covert trap system hidden within the landscape, designed to give NATO forces crucial time. Because if Russia attempts to expand its invasion into the Baltic states, these bunkers will serve as deadly choke points. But the project hasn't been straightforward. There were delays, procurement hurdles and confidentiality issues kept the exact locations secret, complicating bidding and planning. Initially, Estonia sought bids for all 600 bunkers at once, but the costs far exceeded their budget. With location details kept top secret for security, the construction was slowed, but the strategic secrecy is worth it. Because the less Russia knows, the less it can prepare or target. Better to build part of the system and keep it hidden than to rush and reveal everything. Still, time is running out. Estonia and allies are aware that Russia's military modernizes rapidly. Intelligence indicates that Russia's drone factories plan to churn out over 40,000 Goran 2 drones by 2025, an enormous fleet of long-range, destructive aircraft. Additionally, Russia is producing massive glide bombs, tens of thousands, intended for future strikes. These weapons pose a severe threat, and Estonia's bunkers, sturdy as they are, might not withstand a direct hit from such advanced payloads. This raises a chilling question: How well can these fortifications stand against emerging threats? The answer depends on chance, luck built into their secrecy. A single lucky strike could breach even the toughest concrete, yet if Russia doesn't find these hidden traps, they remain silent, deadly, and effective. Think of Estonia's strategy as a secret snare, mysterious, invisible, and deadly. Putin might know these defenses exist, he just doesn't know where they are. That uncertainty might be enough to halt part of his invasion plans. Why does Estonia invest so heavily in clandestine defenses? Because it understands that strategic posture matters most when it's unpredictable. Building this network aligns with the European coalition's broader plan, the Baltic Defence Line. Signed in early 2024 by Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, this agreement commits these nations to creating a continuous front. The goal: deny Russia quick mobility, slow their advance, and give NATO vital time to respond. Estonia's effort is relentless. They have increased their defense budget to about 5% of gross domestic product, around $11.5 billion through 2029. Despite their small size, they are determined to make every soldier, every fortress, as capable as possible. The mission is clear: to stand as a formidable barrier against invasion, to keep NATO's eastern flank secure, and to prevent what many fear, the complete domination of the Baltic region by Russia. But the question remains, what if the worst happens? Will these bunkers be enough? Or are they just a game of hide-and-seek in a deadly chess match? As the world watches in suspense, one thing is certain: Estonia is betting everything on a secret network of defenses, and Putin's forces may be walking into a trap they will never see coming. Many inside NATO believe Russia's ultimate goal is to eliminate Ukraine's sovereignty altogether. They see this move as just the beginning of a wider game. Somewhere in those woods, a new kind of war is quietly being prepared. On December 17, reports emerged of a startling new defense initiative. The Estonian Center for Defense Investments announced the start of a covert construction project, 5 reinforced bunkers, strategically placed across southeast Estonia's dense woodland. But these aren't ordinary bunkers. They're the first fragments of a massive fortress, a chain of fortifications meant to trap and stall an invading force. The goal? To stop Russian troops in their tracks before they can push further into NATO territory. And these bunkers are just the beginning. Plans are in motion to erect 23 more in the coming months. By 2027, Estonia aims to have a staggering 600 of these concrete giants scattered across the northeast and southeast, hidden, yet deadly. Each protective vault, about 35 square meters in size, is meticulously situated along potential entry points for Russian forces. The leadership emphasizes that the strategic placement of each bunker is vital. Estonia is building nearly 25 miles of anti-tank trenches, another layer of defense designed to further impede Russian mechanized forces. This multi-layered shield is more than just concrete and earth, it's a strategic masterpiece. Yet, delays have hampered progress. The initial plans to roll out all 600 bunkers faced delays due to procurement issues and security concerns. The secrets of their locations are kept tightly under wraps, an essential move to keep Russian spies guessing. The plan is to reveal their placement gradually, only to the needs of construction teams, preserving the element of surprise. Why all this effort? Inside the country, uncertainty about when a confrontation may occur fuels urgency. Officials acknowledge that Russia's military rebuilds quickly. The window for preparing is closing. That's why Estonia aims for rapid deployment, believing that even a few months' head start could determine the outcome. Estonia has chosen to unveil these defenses gradually. Only the builders will know where the next bunker appears, like pieces in a puzzle inaccessible to Russian spies. This cautious approach, though slower, enhances the project's effectiveness. A single, fortunate missile strike could disable key assets, but the layered secrecy makes this a near-impossible feat. The stakes are high. With Russia's technological advancements, the threat isn't just conventional soldiers. Moscow is pouring resources into drone armies, planned upgrades to tens of thousands of unmanned aircraft. Russia's Garand drones, its answer to Iranian Shahed models, are expected to become a common feature of future assaults, gaining crucial time and advantage. But these defenses aren't sealed in the shadows. This elaborate system is more than just concrete and steel. It's a psychological trap, a physical barrier, and a symbol of resilience. To Putin, these structures represent a formidable wall, yet they're also a gamble. The real power lies in the uncertainty. As long as the enemy remains in the dark, the bunkers cannot be neutralized. It's a game of information and deception, a strategic chess match played out in the forests of the Baltic. But why is Estonia so committed? Because their tiny territory is a prime target. Less than 200 kilometers wide in some areas, Estonia's land is vulnerable. Russia's mechanized forces could rapidly overrun it, unless the country employs every means necessary to buy time. Reinforcing borders, building trenches, and creating these hidden fortresses are part of a broader NATO effort. In January 2024, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania formalized a collective defense line, an intricate web of trenches. Will forces ever breach this maze? And if they do, what secrets will they uncover? One thing's for sure. The world watches closely, as a silent war unfolds in the shadows of the Baltic landscape. Estonia understands the importance of secrecy. Revealing the exact locations of these bunkers would be disastrous. Better to leave some out of sight, even if it delays construction. A secret fortress is Estonia's best hope to disrupt Russian plans. But how long can they keep these secrets hidden? Could Putin's spies already know where these defenses are, and plan accordingly? The authorities decided it's smarter to build fewer bunkers initially. Instead of completing all 600 structures, they focus on strategic placement, leaving Russia guessing. Imagine the shock of the invaders if they stumble into a maze of hidden concrete traps, without even knowing where they are. Each bunker designed to withstand hits from 152mm artillery shells, if Russian forces somehow locate them. It's a game of hide and seek, with high stakes. Every stage of construction brings new tension. Inside the country, uncertainty reigns. Officials admit they don't know exactly when they might need these defenses. Russia's military revival is unpredictable enough to keep Estonia on edge 24/7. The message is clear: act now or regret later. In just months, the first 5 bunkers will be operational, initial steps in a vast network of underground barriers. The plan is simple. These bunkers will form a tripwire defense system for NATO. When Russia crosses the line, ground forces and equipment will get caught in a deadly web of concrete and steel. Entrapped forces will slow the invasion, giving NATO precious moments to react, to prepare. Airstrikes could target the advancing troops, destroying their momentum before they even reach the heart of Estonia. Imagine the scenario: Russian soldiers, tanks, and drones pushing forward, unaware of the trap waiting beneath their feet. Suddenly, they're stuck, disoriented, hampered, and vulnerable. NATO's forces will have the advantage, the initial clash delayed, giving allies crucial time to mobilize. But there's a dark secret lurking here. These bunkers won't be invincible. Their concrete structures might withstand artillery, but not necessarily high-precision drone strikes or glide bombs. Russia is amassing a huge arsenal, plans for 40,000 glide bombs, aiming to strike with pinpoint accuracy from the skies. Their production could make the bunkers vulnerable, even if secretly hidden. Secrecy is Estonia's ace. The exact locations are classified, left unknown to the enemy, if possible. Any direct hit would be a stroke of luck for Russia, unlikely, if the bunkers stay out of sight. Yet, if Russia uncovers the position of just one, the entire strategy could unravel. The stakes couldn't be higher. Would Putin gamble on finding a weak spot in this underground maze? Estonia's move is bold, creating a vast defense web that even the most advanced Russian technology might struggle to penetrate. Putin knows the bunkers exist, but he can't find them. The question is, will this fortress hold? Or will a slip-up expose Estonia's secret stronghold to the enemy? The next few months could determine the fate of the Baltic states, and perhaps all of Europe. Are they prepared for what lurks beneath? Estonia is taking bold steps to fortify its borders, aiming to create an impregnable defense system against potential Russian invasions. Masterminds behind the scenes are building a hidden network of bunkers, over 600, spreading across the eastern territory like a web of steel and concrete. But these aren't ordinary fortifications, they're traps, designed to catch the enemy off guard and hold them back. The question is, how effective can secrets be in the chaos of war? Lieutenant Colonel Einar Afanasiev emphasized that the strategic placement of these bunkers is crucial. Each one covers roughly 35 square meters, small, yet deadly. They can withstand direct hits from the Russian military's most common artillery shells, 152mm rounds. But the true power lies in their location. Carefully chosen, these positions will form a giant, invisible snare targeting Russian troops. Every decision has been meticulously planned to maximize impact. Beyond the bunkers, Estonia is preparing nearly 25 miles of anti-tank trenches, additional barriers to hinder enemy advances. But the road to deployment has been riddled with delays. Initial plans called for construction to start over a year ago, but complications in procurement threw everything off course. Contractors needed details about each bunker's exact position, information kept under tight security, to provide accurate bids. The secrecy means some bids exceeded budgets. They couldn't accurately price work without knowing where these structures would stand. Now, Estonia is adopting a staggered approach. Instead of revealing all locations at once, they release the coordinates gradually, only to those involved in construction. This is a tactical move, ensuring Russian spies can't pinpoint the bunkers beforehand. It also means delays are inevitable, but the benefits outweigh the setbacks. Better to have a partially completed, secret network than to finish everything too soon and risk having the enemy know everything before the battle begins. Lieutenant Colonel Afanasiev points out that the entire system acts like a colossal trap, rigid, resilient, and nearly impossible for Russian forces to bypass. Each bunker is designed to absorb incoming fire, making them formidable obstacles. In the event of a conflict, this hidden line could give Estonia and its allies crucial time, an opportunity to mobilize, respond, and strike back before the enemy advances further. Yet, vulnerabilities remain. What happens if Russian drones, which Russia is ramping up exponentially, target these bunkers? They're capable of delivering devastating blows, missiles, gliding bombs, and long-range drones. Russia's plan to produce up to 40,000 Garand-2 drones alone hints at a future where aerial assaults could threaten this fortress. Even more alarming, Russia aims to manufacture over 120,000 glide bombs, massively destructive weapons, capable of turning the battlefield into a smoking wasteland. Can these bunkers withstand such advanced threats? The answer is uncertain. The structures are built to resist artillery attacks, but drones and glide bombs could potentially cause serious damage, unless luck is on Estonia's side. The secret is vital, the bunkers' locations are closely guarded. A lucky shot might ruin everything. But the sheer number and secrecy make it nearly impossible for Russia to locate all the positions simultaneously. This strategic silence is Estonia's most powerful weapon. Putin's forces may know about the bunkers' existence, but they have no idea where they're hidden. It's a game of hide and seek on a scale larger than most can imagine, a high-stakes gamble for national security. If Russia doesn't find the bunkers in time, their planned invasion could be halted cold, locked in a trap with no way out. Why has Estonia invested so heavily in this defense maze? Because their future, and the security of neighboring Baltic nations, may depend on it. Back in January 2024, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania united to forge a common defense line. The goal: create an unbreakable barrier along NATO's eastern flank. The alliance's collective safety hinges on these measures, risking everything to prevent a repeat of past invasions. Latvia has already started reinforcing its borders, investing over €300 million, nearly $356 million, in strengthening their eastern defenses since March 2024. The entire region is tense, and every brick, every bunker, signifies their fierce determination to stand firm against the unknown enemy. Will this network of steel and concrete prove sufficient? Or will unseen threats, like smart drones and deadly glide bombs, outmatch their defenses? The curtains are closing on this fragile chapter of military innovation, but the battle for control, and the future of the Baltics, has only just begun. In the heart of the Baltic forests, Estonia is quietly orchestrating a formidable defense. Imagine the rustling leaves, the distant murmur of preparing machinery, an unseen war of shadows is underway. The question is, how has Estonia transformed these tranquil woods into a network of secretive fortresses designed to trap an unstoppable force? Estonia is building a vast series of bunkers and trenches, aiming to create an almost unbreakable barrier. These structures will stretch over 35 square meters each, forming a web of nearly 600 underground strongholds screened from prying eyes. The strategic location of each bunker is crucial, carefully selected to turn the landscape into a lethal maze. Lieutenant Colonel Einar Afanasiev emphasizes the importance of precise placement, ensuring each bunker can withstand direct hits from the most common Russian artillery shells. But why such secrecy? Because the ultimate goal is to make this fortress invisible to enemy eyes. Estonia's defense leaders are deliberately keeping the exact positions hidden, layer by layer. This is not merely an act of caution but a tactical masterpiece. They are rolling out the construction gradually, revealing only portions of the network at a time, to keep Russia guessing. This staggered approach delays the project but guarantees unpredictability. After all, if the enemy doesn't know where the bunkers are, they cannot destroy them in advance. However, this meticulous planning comes with hurdles. Estonia initially planned to finish building all 600 bunkers by the end of 2027. Yet, procurement complications and confidentiality requirements slowed progress. Bidders couldn't get accurate quotes without knowing exact locations, which remain classified. As a result, the deployment is phased, with the first 5 bunkers already taking shape amid the dense woodland. Each structure is reinforced to withstand artillery hits, a tiny fortress built with hope that it will serve as a deadly trap. Beyond the bunkers, Estonia is also digging nearly 25 miles of anti-tank trenches, adding another layer of danger for any invading force. These trenches snake through the terrain, waiting like concealed predators. The intention? To slow, confuse, and ultimately incapacitate Russian advances. This sprawling defense system is designed to be a massive glue trap, ensnaring enemy troops and equipment in a labyrinth of concrete, steel, and secrecy. Yet doubts linger, will these bunkers be enough? Russia is ramping up drone production, threatening to rain down destruction from above. Plans call for 40,000 deadly drones, capable of striking with precision and speed. These strikes could target bunkers directly, but the secret locations act as a powerful defense. The bunker's fortification can withstand artillery, but can they survive advanced drone attacks or glide bombs? The reality is uncertain, the risks are high. Still, the core strategy remains strong: keep the bunkers hidden, build fast, and strike early. By maintaining the element of surprise, Estonia hopes to buy precious time for NATO to mobilize. When the invasion comes, the enemy will be met with a labyrinthine web of steel and concrete, an invisible nightmare crafted in the woods. Vladimir Putin knows these bunkers exist, but he has no clue where they lie beneath the canopy. That's the brilliance of Estonia's plan, an unbreakable trap cloaked in secrecy, waiting for the moment to spring. Estonia understands the importance of secrecy. Revealing the exact locations of these bunkers would be disastrous. Better to leave some out of sight, even if it delays construction. A secret fortress is Estonia's best hope to disrupt Russian plans. But how long can they keep these secrets hidden? Could Putin's spies already know where these defenses are, and plan accordingly? The authorities decided it's smarter to build fewer bunkers initially. Instead of completing all 600 structures, they focus on strategic placement, leaving Russia guessing. Imagine the shock of the invaders if they stumble into a maze of hidden concrete traps, without even knowing where they are, constantly guessing where the next surprise might emerge. The secret behind this approach? It's about outsmarting an enemy who relies heavily on intelligence to strike first. Inside the country, officials admit they aren't sure when such an emergency might unfold. The urgency is palpable, each moment counts. The Defense Investment Center notes varying estimates on how fast Russia could rebuild its military strength. They emphasize, we must act now. The time to prepare is while we still can. For Estonia, this isn't just talk. It's a race against time. Already, the initial 5 bunkers are nearly finished, set to be operational within months. But an even bigger reveal is coming. A recent report hints at an inside look into what's being called a colossal defensive fortress. These structures won't stand alone, instead, they form part of a larger tripwire system that shields all of NATO. This network will turn Estonia, Latvia, destroying their momentum before they even reach the heart of Estonia. Imagine the scenario: Russian soldiers, tanks, and drones pushing forward, unaware of the trap waiting beneath their feet. Suddenly, they're stuck, disoriented, hampered, and vulnerable. NATO's forces will have the advantage, the initial clash delayed, giving allies crucial time to mobilize. But there's a dark secret lurking here. These bunkers won't be invincible. Their concrete structures might withstand artillery, but not necessarily high-precision drone strikes or glide bombs to mobilize and strike back. But how can Estonia be so confident? The secret lies in partial disclosure. Only the builders know the exact locations. The rest remain in the dark, like a game of hide-and-seek on a grand scale. As a result, even if Russia's intelligence agents are hunting for these bunkers, they'll be left empty-handed. The element of surprise remains intact. Putin might sense an impending confrontation, but he will have no clue where the real threats lie. This strategy leaves a huge question: could mere luck, or sheer chance, be the only way for Russia to find and destroy these hidden fortresses? Or will their secrecy be enough? The stakes are high, and the clock is ticking. Estonia's bold move may be the ultimate game-changer in the battle for Baltic security. But with Russia ramping up drone and missile capabilities, including plans for 40,000 advanced glide bombs, how long can these bunkers withstand the onslaught? Every day counts, and the tension? It's mounting. One thing is certain: Putin's forces are preparing in ways the world has never seen. As Estonia's defenses grow more formidable, the question remains: when will the first clash occur? And will these secret bunkers be enough to turn the tide? The answers hang in the balance, hidden behind layers of concrete and secrecy, waiting to be revealed when it matters most. Many inside NATO believe Russia's ultimate goal is to eliminate Ukraine's sovereignty altogether. They see this move as just the beginning of a wider campaign that could threaten all of Europe. The first targets? The Baltic nations along NATO's eastern border, especially Estonia. Could their defenses stop a full-scale invasion? The stakes are enormous. Estonia recognizes the danger clearly. The threat from Russia is not just theoretical, it's real, palpable. The cold wind at dawn, the rustling of trees, signs of mounting tension. To counter Putin's ambitions, Estonia is teaming up with NATO allies. And what they're doing may shock you. They're constructing a series of fortified bunkers deep in the forests of southeast Estonia, 5 to start, then dozens more. A hide-and-seek game with Russian forces? Maybe. But this is a calculated strategy to halt an invasion before it begins. By next year, Estonia plans to have nearly 600 bunkers scattered throughout the country. Each one a concrete trap designed to slow down or stop Russian troops at key entry points. These structures, covering about 35 square meters each, are being placed precisely where a potential invasion could occur. The goal? Create a web so dense that any Russian advance would be bogged down in a maze of steel and concrete. Imagine the tense silence, sounds of the forest blending with the distant rumble of construction. The bunkers are optimized to withstand artillery shells, just enough to give defenders an edge. But there's more. Alongside these bunkers, Estonia is building nearly 25 miles of anti-tank trenches, another layer of defense designed to further impede Russian mechanized forces. This multi-layered shield is more than just concrete and earth, it's a strategic masterpiece. Yet, delays have hampered progress. The initial plans to roll out all 600 bunkers faced delays due to procurement issues and security concerns. The secrets of their locations are kept tightly under wraps, an essential move to keep Russian spies guessing. The plan is to reveal their placement gradually, only to the needs of construction teams, preserving the element of surprise. Why all this effort? Inside the country, uncertainty about when a confrontation may occur fuels urgency. Officials acknowledge that Russia's military rebuilds quickly. The window for preparing is closing. That's why Estonia aims for rapid deployment, believing that even a few months' head start could determine the outcome. Early reports suggest the first 5 bunkers could be ready in just a few months. The real question remains: will they be enough? Inside the hidden depths of these bunkers, a new defense network is taking shape. It's part of a broader strategy, a tripwire defense system that benefits all NATO members. Estonian, Lithuanian, and Latvian forces will serve as first responders, their fortified positions creating a barrier that Russian forces will struggle to penetrate. Think of it as a massive trap, luring enemy forces into a maze of steel, a deadly honeycomb designed to catch and trap. The longer the Russians are caught inside, the more NATO forces can strike back, gaining crucial time and advantage. But these defenses aren't invincible. The concrete structures can resist artillery, but what about drones, glide bombs, or other modern threats? Russia's military advances include thousands of long-range drones, some capable of devastating strikes from miles away. The Alabugadrome factory alone plans to produce 40,000 Garand-2 drones, new warfare tools in the future battlefield. These are not just small flying machines, they're part of a strategic evolution, and they could potentially strike these bunkers, albeit unpredictably. The threat doesn't stop there. Russia's glide bombs, massive converted bombs capable of precise attacks, are also part of their arsenal. Ukraine reports over 44,000 such glide bombs launched in recent months. Russia's goal? To have hundreds of thousands ready for future campaigns, even potential invasions of the Baltic states. These bombs can bypass many defenses. Can the bunkers withstand such an onslaught? Perhaps, if only by luck, as their exact locations remain a secret. The real advantage for Estonia is that if the Russians don't know exactly where the defenses are, their chances of a successful strike diminish dramatically. In the grand chess game, Estonia's strategy is clear. It's not just about building walls, it's about creating an unpredictable puzzle that Russia cannot solve. As Vladimir Putin's forces gear up for a possible invasion, Estonia's bunkers serve as a silent, unyielding challenge. Russia knows they exist, but not where. This uncertainty is the true power of Estonia's defense, keeping the enemy guessing, forcing them to gamble on luck. Why is Estonia risking so much? Because it's more than just defending its borders, it's about the very future of Europe's stability. The nation is part of a larger effort, an agreement signed in early 2024 among Baltic neighbors, to forge a formidable defense line. This line is designed to buy critical time for NATO reinforcements and to shape the battlefield in favor of defenders. But with threats looming from all sides, Kaliningrad's fortress, Belarus's staging ground, Estonia must be proactive or face annihilation. Every step, every bunker, every trench is a gamble. Will it be enough to stop the relentless march of modern warfare? The answer remains uncertain. But one thing is certain, Estonia is making a desperate, relentless stand. The true fight has begun, and the world watches with bated breath. The question remains, who will blink first? The world is watching with bated breath as tensions escalate between Russia and the Baltic states. Recent events have revealed Russia's bold moves, crossing into Estonia and stirring fears of a wider conflict. In response, Estonia is taking dramatic steps, building a network of nearly 600 underground bunkers designed as an unbreakable trap for any invader. This isn't just defense, it's a bold statement to the world, and to Russia, that Baltic resilience is unwavering. Imagine a dense forest dotted with reinforced concrete fortresses, hidden in the shadows of the woods. Each bunker, about 35 square meters, is crafted to withstand the fiercest artillery rounds. But the true genius lies in secrecy. Only trusted builders know their locations, kept under lock and key, away from prying eyes. If Russia attacks, these underground strongholds will slow their advance, allowing NATO forces to regroup and strike back with precision. The first 5 are already in place, just on the horizon. The full network of 600 could turn the tide of any future invasion. Yet, this formidable barrier isn't perfect. Russia's relentless march in drone technology poses new dangers. Their fleet of tens of thousands of deadly unmanned aircraft, including the deadly Garand-2 drones, are capable of devastating strikes. Could a single missile or drone explode through these bunkers' defenses? That possibility haunts defenders. Although secrecy offers some protection, the threat remains real. Russia's growing arsenal could strike without warning, especially with their glide bombs, massive bombs capable of precise destruction. Yet, the bunker's reinforced walls, designed to endure artillery, might only be vulnerable to a lucky hit or an unexpected drone strike. But here's the twist, these bunkers are more than just physical barriers. They are strategic bait, an intricate trap designed to catch the invading forces unawares. Putin knows they exist, but he has no idea where they are hidden. This uncertainty is Estonia's true weapon, a secret fortress network that could turn the tide of any confrontation, forcing the Russian military into a deadly game of chance. This masterstroke in defense aligns with NATO's overarching plan to strengthen the eastern flank, making invasion impossible. The Baltic Defense Line, envisioned by Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, is an unbreakable chain meant to hold the line against the most aggressive enemies. The stakes are higher than ever. Russia's recent border crossings and escalating drone buildup signal a dangerous shift in tactics. Their plans include manufacturing tens of thousands of glide bombs by 2025, their most lethal missiles ready to strike. If a sudden invasion were to occur, these bunkers might be the only thing saving Estonia. But will they be enough? Or will Russia's technological advances render these defenses obsolete? The answer may lie in the shadows, hidden deep beneath the forests, waiting for the moment that could change history forever. In a world where war could ignite at any moment, Estonia's bold strategy is a chess move, quiet, clever, and potentially catastrophic. The question remains, can a network of underground fortresses outmatch the relentless innovation of Russia's modern military? One thing is certain, Putin's forces might think twice before rushing into Estonia. Because in the game of survival, secrets are the deadliest weapon. And as the world watches, Estonia is preparing to trap the bear in its own den, silent, unseen, and unstoppable. The world watches anxiously as tensions between Russia and the Baltic nations continue to escalate. Recently, Russia made daring moves, crossing into Estonian borders, fueling fears of a larger conflict. In response, Estonia is taking extraordinary measures, building nearly 600 underground bunkers designed to be an unstoppable trap for any invading force. This isn't just about defense, it's a message to the world, and to Russia, that Baltic resilience is unbreakable. Picture this, a dense, quiet forest dotted with reinforced concrete fortresses, hidden in shadowy woods. Each hidden bunker, roughly 35 square meters, crafted to withstand the fury of artillery fire. The true brilliance lies in secrecy. Only trusted insiders know their exact locations, locked away, guarded from prying eyes. If Russia attacks, these underground defenses will slow their advance dramatically, giving NATO forces a crucial advantage to regroup and strike back with precision. Already, the first 5 bunkers are in place, standing ready in the shadows. But the full network, close to 600 strong, could transform the battlefield. Yet, even with this impressive barrier, threats loom. Russia's relentless push in drone technology opens new dangers. Tens of thousands of deadly unmanned aircraft, particularly the formidable Garand II drones, are capable of devastating strikes. Could a single missile or drone break through these fortified walls? That haunting question lingers among defenders. Secrecy offers some cover, but Russia's expanding arsenal could deliver surprise attacks. Their glide bombs, massive, precise destructive devices, are regularly used in conflicts. These enormous bombs, capable of targeted destruction, could potentially breach the bunker's reinforced structures. Though designed to endure artillery blasts, these bunkers might only be vulnerable if hit by a lucky strike or an unexpected drone attack. Here's where it gets even more intriguing. These bunkers aren't just physical defenses, they're strategic bait. An intricate trap meant to catch invading forces off guard. Putin is aware they exist, yet he has no idea where they're hidden. That uncertainty becomes Estonia's secret weapon, a clandestine network of fortresses that could shift the outcome of any confrontation. This masterstroke forces Russia into a deadly game of chance. This bold defensive strategy aligns perfectly with NATO's broader goal, to strengthen its eastern flank, making invasion nearly impossible. The Baltic Defense Line, a collaborative effort by Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, forms an unbreakable chain designed to halt the most aggressive adversaries. The stakes have never been higher. Recent border incursions, alongside the surge in drone production, signal a dangerous shift in Russian tactics. By 2025, Russia plans to produce tens of thousands of glide bombs, some of the most lethal missiles, prepared for rapid deployment. If a sudden invasion happens, these underground bunkers could be Estonia's primary shield. But are they enough? Could Russia's technological innovations render these defenses obsolete? The answer may hide deep within the shadows, beneath thick forest canopies, waiting for the decisive moment. In a world teetering on the brink of conflict, Estonia's bold move is like a silent chess move, quiet, clever, and potentially catastrophic. The ultimate question remains, can a network of underground fortresses outmatch Russia's relentless technological advances? One thing is clear, their forces might think twice before launching an attack into Estonia. Because in the game of survival, secrets are the deadliest weapons. As tensions heat up globally, Estonia's secret fortress network stands as a silent guardian, hidden, unbreakable, and ready to trap the bear in its own den. With the clock ticking, the world waits with bated breath, knowing that behind the shadows of forests, a new kind of war is quietly being fought, where victory hinges on secrecy and strategic masterstrokes.